This is the El Donzo and Deez show.
I'm El Donzo.
I'm Deez. And look, it's colder than a well digger's rear out there right now, and it's only going to get colder. And depending on what happened over the course of Thursday/Friday with what we are supposed to be getting in snow and or ice, you got nothing better to do. So get on social media and find us on Facebook, facebook.com/EldonzoDeez. Find us on X @EldonzoDeez. And if you want to look at our dumb faces and my ever-growing beard, youtube.com/EldonzoDeez. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn those notifications on. And yeah, do that.
You know,
Bundle up.
Bundle up. And I've been getting on X lately and posting some Fooly Monkey Shines. So, you know, trying to get that back up and going and getting active on that. We're also looking at getting on Rumble as well, which is going to be a bit of a hurdle, but we're going to do it. Before we get into the stories, and we have to touch on the Epstein thing. We have to get into that. We're going to get into that on this segment.
I think there's been enough touching with the Epstein thing.
When Jeffrey thinks about you, he touches himself. Oh, okay. So we're going to get into that. I want to give another shout out to the sponsor for the show, EnviroSeal. If you have sunken concrete slabs, patios, driveways, give those guys a call. They'll come out and pump up the slabs. Give them a call at 309-275-6303 for EnviroSeal. All right, before we get into that, we're coming off this whole Biden thing. I want to talk about inflation. And I've talked about this before, but it's time to bat this home because you may have liberal friends that are bragging right now that inflation is down to 3.2%. Have you heard anybody brag about inflation lately, like liberals, D's?
No, I don't really talk to anybody. So.
Yeah, especially liberals, right? That's what I thought.
Or anybody.
Perfect. Or anybody. You talk to me, though. All right, inflation's at 3.2%.
Contractually obligated.
Now, shut up, D's. Now, inflation being at 3.2%, all these liberals, okay, are jumping up and down with joy and talking about, oh, Biden brought the inflation down from 3.2%. Then you say, well, it used to be at 9%. And they say, well, now it's down to 3.2. This is all Bidenomics at work. Okay, so first of all, the problem is it got up to 9%. So it got up to 9% inflation, and then it went to 3.2% inflation. You're still at 9% inflation, but instead of having 9% of inflation month after month after month, you're still at that level, which came out to be nearly 13%. And now you're only being inflated 3.2% annually.
Yeah, stuff's not getting any cheaper.
It's still adding up. When the only way, I'm going to tell you right now, the only way to get inflation down is to have deflation. Okay? If you go down to 0% inflation, your bills aren't going to change. Right, Deez? They're not going to change.
Yeah, it is what it is.
The cost of goods is not going to go down.
No.
You have to have deflation. You have to have negative inflation. I don't care if he gets it down to 1%. The point was, this jackass still got it up to 9%. That's about the only thing I bet he can get up at this stage in his life, but he got it up to 9%, okay? You know, Biden, here's the other thing. He announced, since taking office, okay, he just announced, the American people have $1,700 more spending power than they did pre-COVID.
Okay.
When food is up 33.5%, energy's up almost 33%.
Gas is down, but that's because it's winter and nobody's traveling. But anyway, nobody wants to talk about that.
Housing's at 19%. Overall, we are over 17.5% increase from a couple years ago. How in the hell can he say that we had $1,700 more dollars in spending power? Now, if you take into account a cost of living raise, maybe, but that's only if your inflation stayed the same or went down.
As a small business owner, I can say that my company did like 60% less this year.
And do you know why that is?
Nobody can afford to do the work.
Nobody can afford to have the work done.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
When you're looking at, roughly between food, energy, housing, almost 20% increase in the cost of living.
Cost of materials skyrocketed.
I got a question. How many people, when they're living paycheck to paycheck, that wanted that tile job done in their bathroom are going to go, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that tile job, even though that means I won't eat. Nobody.
Yeah. I've got several people that I've talked to, given bids on jobs, but at the end of the day, I get the same thing. I can't swing it right now.
Folks, I'm going to tell you, if your lefty friends come at you with this stuff, talking about how great Bidenomics is, even Bidenomics is something that his aides and his handlers want him to stop using. It's a horrible term. Saying Bidenomics is like saying nowadays the N-word. Okay? That's how it is to the Democrats. They hate it. We talked about Bill Clinton being down there with Gavin Newsom. Barack Obama just recently took Joe Biden out to lunch and said, hey, this is getting really bad. Joe Biden's freaking out. Barack Obama's freaking out. Michelle Obama's freaking out. She just went on, I can't remember where it was. It wasn't The View. She went on somewhere and said this keeps her up at night. She didn't have a book deal coming out. She doesn't have a big speaking engagement coming out. Why is she just going out there and doing interviews now? That's what leads me to believe that Michelle Obama is going to have something to do with this.
That's possible.
And I believe, bro, I get it.
She's so stressed about this, she can't even shave her balls.
When rubber meets road or razor meets pubes, either way, Michelle Obama is out. She is kept awake at night. Well, I was going to make another joke there, but I don't really think I should. Anyway, Biden's in a terrible mess right now. That's undeniable. And there's no way he's clawing his way out of it. Even Nikki Haley is actually doing better against him than Trump is in these polls. I just looked at him today. Courtesy of Real Clear Politics, which you don't ever go there, do you? They have a lot of good news stories. No, but they have a lot of good, across-the-board news stories, different aspects, different angles. Again,
none of that matters because Joe Biden's not going to be the candidate.
I don't think he is either. I think they're going to pull the plug on him.
Yep, it's a matter of time.
Either that or he's going to suicide himself, like Jeffrey Epstein. In other news today, Jeffrey Epstein's actual cause of death came out. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, his cause of death was he was hanging around the wrong people. I know. Anyway, moving on. Charlemagne the God. You remember him when Joe Biden went on there?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, Charlemagne the God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Biden went on there and did the, if you can't decide whether to vote for me or vote for Trump, then you ain't black. And I thought right then that I saw the look on Charlemagne the God's face, and I thought this guy ain't going to vote for him. Well, he did. He supported him, got people to vote for him. Now Charlemagne the God's backtracking that. But he said, but if you vote for Trump, it's the end of democracy. Now, I got a question, Deez. How can you say if you vote for Trump, it's the end of democracy, when we voted for him in 2016 and democracy didn't end? What? People are forgetting this guy had 4 years in the White House. Democracy didn't end. It flourished. Business was never better.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy. Hell, I tell you what, back when I was a kid, used to walk to school barefoot in the snow. Uphill.
Both ways.
Both ways, uphill. But damn it, Trump was president and life was good. No, I'm just saying, it's just the cockamamie stuff they come up with. Anyway, moving on from Charlemagne the God, because we were talking about a fart in the wind. There's another one right there. Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein stuff. We've got some more coming out on this. This Sarah Ransom, have you heard of her? She was supposedly one of the gals that was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm.
Okay? She has come out and she said this back, I think it was in 2015.
Yeah, during the deposition.
Now, what's really interesting here, she implicated, who was it? Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson, and Donald Trump back then,
mm-hmm.
of being clients or having sexual relations with these trafficked women. All right? She recanted that statement and said that she just wanted to draw attention to Jeffrey Epstein, and she was afraid at the time of her. Well, she recanted it because she said she recanted it. Excuse me, I'm talking in circles. She recanted the statement and then recently said that she recanted it because she was afraid for her life. Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but she said she had sex tapes of Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson having sex with these underage sex slaves. Now, Trump doesn't show up, but she did claim that her friend was one of the many girls that had sexual relations with Trump at Epstein's home. So now there's no video of Trump having sex with anybody. Now, you've said this before. You wouldn't be surprised if Trump, went out there to Jeffrey Epstein's place and got a little, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be completely shocked.
Wouldn't be completely shocked. I get it.
I'm of the mind that all politicians and
Now
business super tycoons are pretty much scumbags.
Yeah, maybe they are.
But he did good for the country, so I'll give him that.
Sarah Ransom claims that she has these videos on thumb drives that she has dispersed to different people around the world in the event that something happens to her. And once again, this started out as Trump, Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson. Now she's just saying Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson, that they have sex tapes, that she can bring those out and release them. And in the last episode, we were talking about the Jeffrey Epstein leaked documents and pics, and there's pics of him on Little St. James Island, and of course the ever lovely Ghislaine Maxwell, she's a creep, but I always thought she was hot for an older chick.
Yeah.
What, don't you?
She's all right.
She's kind of nasty, though. She was sex trafficking people. We talked about the Clinton. We talked about Bill Clinton, Richard Branson, and of course Prince Andrew. We know Prince Andrew's a dirtbag, but most of the royals are, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Like all these people get worked up about, the royals and what was it, The Crown that was on, or what was that TV show where they'd go into the...
I think it was called The Crown.
I think it was called The Crown, something like that. I just don't care, okay? We whipped their asses over 230 years ago. I don't
it's
care.
a joke. Like, it's a fake title. Like, let it go. You lost.
So anyway, we're talking about this chick, Sarah Ransom, supposedly has video that Jeffrey Epstein took. Now, mind you, the original video was seized by the FBI when they raided Jeffrey Epstein's properties. Now, once again, why would the FBI keep that and not let it out? Well, of course, the FBI is the what Bureau of Investigation?
Federal
Bureau of Investigation. So why would they not keep these federal elites safe? Now, you remember, the FBI, same ball team as the ATF. When John Mac Isaac got that Hunter Biden laptop and took it to the FBI, and then the ATF got the thing about him throwing the gun away, Hunter Biden throwing the gun away, what'd they do? They suppressed it, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Until they were forced to bring it out. After, 51 former members of the intelligence agencies came out and signed that Hunter Biden's laptop was nothing but BS and Russian disinformation. The whole federal government covered for them. So to think that the FBI took Jeffrey Epstein's safe and all its contents and is hiding it isn't really that much of a stretch, now is it, Deez?
No.
Of course it's not. Now, a couple of people that got named in this deal that came out, and on last week's show, we didn't really have anybody named. It said something about Bill Clinton liked him young, but we knew that. I mean, that wasn't much of a surprise to us. And that's not very damning for somebody to testify that Jeffrey Epstein, who's now dead, said that Bill Clinton liked him young. But we found out that Jean-Luc Brunel, which was he was a big name in the French modeling world, he also died in jail while waiting on sex trafficking charges. And also, check this out. You remember we were talking about Bob Menendez, Senator Bob Menendez?
Mm-hmm.
Was taking out all the payouts,
Yeah.
gold bars for doing stuff and hooking people up. His former girlfriend has been implicated in this deal as well for having orgies with Jeffrey Epstein and the underage sex slaves. His former girlfriend. So,
again, not surprised.
Nah, not surprised. But once again, I was a little surprised it's coming out this soon. Now, if you look at it, most of the people that are getting implicated in this, And Nadia Marcinkova, who was a model that was a masseuse for Jeffrey Epstein, turned into a pilot. She's disappeared. Ghislaine Maxwell's in jail. Epstein's dead. Jean-Luc Brunel's dead. So a lot of these names that are getting dropped right now are people that really don't mean a whole lot in society or are already dead. See where I'm going with that?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't dropped any big names except for the Sarah Ransom. So we'll see what comes of that. I'm sure by next week we'll have more information. Hopefully we do.
I think that this last batch was the last batch. I could be wrong, but I was under the impression that those last ones that they just released a day or two ago was like the final.
Well, my point is, right, of this batch that they dumped.
Yeah.
My point is Sarah Ransom. I'd be really interested to see if she actually does have tapes of these people having sex with these underage girls. That's what I mean. Let's see what comes out of it. I doubt it, too.
I think they would already have been out.
Or she would be in witness protection.
Yeah,
somehow.
I think the only person that could speak on any of this is Ghislaine, and she understands that if she opens her mouth, she's dead.
She's going to hang herself, too, with her bed sheets, right? Yeah. All right. Let's go to this Golden Globes monkey shines. This is actually, believe it or not, going to take longer than you would think. Okay, so you know who Joe Coy is, right?
Yep.
Now let's preface it with this. The Golden Globes are a catastrophe. It's just a bunch of elites waiting to get their awards and waiting to get their recognition for a job well done. That's all this is. It doesn't apply to common people like you or I. It never has and it never will. Now, Ricky Gervais hosted the Golden Globes for how long? It was
5
seasons. 5 years.
5
Not
years,
seasons,
yeah.
5 years.
And the last one he did, if you've never watched it, go on YouTube right now. And
After the show, after
show,
the old
yes,
Donzo
yes.
and D's show.
And watch Ricky Gervais's opening monologue the last time he hosted, which was a couple years ago, and he eviscerated Hollywood.
Well, he knew that was his last time.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais had 0 Fs given during that show. And watch for the look on Tom Hanks's face when he starts digging into him as well. That's a pretty telltale sign that there was uncomfort going on in the audience. So anyway, a lot of stuff happened at the Golden Globes. I didn't watch it, but I watched the recaps because I cannot sit through that many elite a-holes having their own little party.
No, I can't watch any award show for that matter.
Joe Coy, though, on the other hand, bombed. Now, wait.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming Joe Coy. But he bombed and he did a couple things. The biggest thing being was that as he's bombing, he's blaming other people that wrote the jokes. Now, this is my only thing against Joe Coy at this point. When you start, he read the jokes, he knew the jokes, he rehearsed the jokes. Don't blame somebody else because you listened to them. Is my only point.
Yeah.
There's better ways to save it. I've bombed in front of people. I know how it feels. It's embarrassing, okay? It is. I bomb on this show every week. That's besides the point. Just saying, he could have handled that a lot better. Now, what about this, what's her name? The singer. Why am I...
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Because he made a joke in his, I believe it was in his opening monologue, basically saying that the biggest difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL is that the Golden Globes will have less Taylor Swift coverage because she's
dating
been
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, and every time she's in the stadium, they cut to her multiple times.
Now I'll give him.
It was
this.
kind of funny, but not for that crowd. Like,
Oh
nobody in that crowd.
no! That wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was true though, wasn't it?
Oh, for
it was
sure.
kind of funny because it was true.
Yeah.
And the look that stuck-up snooty gave him, like, couldn't take a joke.
Yeah.
Like, really, you couldn't just.
No, I
fake
like
your way
Joe
through
Coy.
it.
I think he's very funny. He's very niche, though.
I had
Like,
never heard of him until this.
Yeah, if you watch his specials, it all basically revolves around the same theme of, his Filipino mother and raising his son. For him to do that kind of show with that kind of comedy, is that's not what he's known for. That's not really his niche. I think it was a poor choice, and I don't blame him because it's a big opportunity for somebody who's not quite super mainstream to make a name for themselves.
Now,
but it fell flat.
Michael Che, who's a writer on Saturday Night Live,
Hilarious.
He came out and he stood up for Joe Coy, and he pretty much said that all comedians should be boycotting this because comedians, he made a good point, are never allowed in the Golden Globes. Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy, these guys never win a Golden Globe. They're comedians. They never win for comedy. They win for drama and stuff like that. So, first of all, why are they even going on there and supporting it? And second of all, if they're going to get treated like that, why would any comedian support this?
Yeah.
And he made a good point. He says
comedians can't even make jokes anymore without getting canceled.
And
by
he
the
made
woke mob.
this Michael Che made a really good point. The people in audience, the people accepting these awards, don't want to laugh.
No.
They're not there to laugh. They're there to get their award and do their political thing and be done with it. And we've got a lot more to go in about this. Michael Rappaport, which we were talking about the whole Jewish thing. Michael Rappaport, now I get it, tore into the Hollywood guys who avoid mentioning the Israeli hostages in Gaza. When you look at the Golden Globes, it's always a form of protest. It's Black Lives Matter. It's LGBTQ. It's a multitude of things. It's Ukraine. They had Zelensky on there, didn't they, last year? Vladimir Zelensky was on there. Yeah, they all were in Ukraine flags. Nobody's talking about what's going on in
Was that the Golden
Gaza.
Globes or the Oscars?
Either way, all the
They're
same,
yeah.
all the same elite a-holes. It doesn't matter to me. But Michael Rappaport made a good point about this. Nobody was wearing a yellow armband that was either speaking, presenting, or getting awarded anything. Nobody talked about that. Michael Rappaport's really pissed off about this, and I don't blame him one bit. All right? He made the point that these people went in on October 7th, Palestinians, Hamas, raped these people, killed these people, took them hostage, continued to rape and murder them, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares about it. Now, I got a question. We're coming up on a hard break here before we get any more into this. Dave Chappelle said Jews run Hollywood. A lot of these people have said the Jews run Hollywood. That's not true. And here's the proof right here. If the Jews ran Hollywood, don't you think that the Golden Globes would be all about Israel?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so divisive. They're not going to piss off half of their potential fan base.
No. The point is, that's even further proof that the Jews do not run Hollywood. They did back in the 20s. They don't now. And we were talking about the Golden Globe debacle, and I went off on a little rant about how nobody is recognizing Israel when they recognize every other kind of bullsticks thing that's going on in the world that these elites have nothing to do with. All right? Case in point, Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney went down the red carpet. Did you see this, Deez?
No.
Yes.
I seen a picture of it on Twitter, but yeah, no, I didn't see it.
Here's one of the headlines. TikTok star Dylan Mulvaney, who attended UC's College Conservatory of Music, dazzled the Golden Globes red carpet wearing an all-pink ensemble. Speaking with Billboard, the actor said it was his first time attending the ceremony. Quote, "This night was really special and just a huge congrats to everyone who won." Look at that guy in his pink red dress. Now, Dylan Mulvaney gets this kind of coverage. Dylan Mulvaney, let's remind everybody, was the dude who got a deal with Bud Light for celebrating 100 days of girlhood when he's not a girl. What?
He's a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah, that's right. He's playing something. Probably playing, I would say hide the salami with somebody, but that's not even appropriate. Let's say Sam Brenton. The fact that Dylan Mulvaney gets this kind of coverage for having no talent whatsoever. Now, they said that, I want to ask you a question. It states, TikTok star Dylan Mulvaney, who attended UC's College Conservatory of Music, dazzled the Golden Globes. Have you ever heard Dylan Mulvaney sing?
Well, sort of.
Dude, yes or no? Have you ever heard him sing?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Where at?
It was some stupid video that was...
Some stupid video. You didn't hear him on the radio, did you?
Oh, well, no.
No, you didn't. Have you ever seen him actually act in a film? Called him an actor.
I've seen something. He was in something.
Obviously wasn't much. Okay,
No,
if you can't remember what it was. My point is, this guy has no skill. The only thing he can do is put on a dress and act like a woman, and people eat this garbage up. That he got plenty of headlines. He got plenty of press coverage on him, but Israel didn't. Now, I will say this, though. This was one that you had to dig deep, deep, deep down for. Jim Gaffigan showed up, and did he win an award for something?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but in his speech, this is what Jim Gaffigan had to say at the Golden Globes. Now, mind you, I don't need to mind you anything. You know what's going on in the world, folks. You're smart. Listen to this. Is Jim Gaffigan on stage at the Golden Globes. Roll clip.
I mean, I can't even believe I'm in the entertainment industry. I can't. It's so unlikely. I'm from a small town in Indiana. I'm not a pedophile.
Anyway, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
He called him out right there. I'm sure
And
Tom
he'll
Hanks
never be back.
and he'll never be back. He will be drinking beers and getting drunk with Ricky Gervais during next year's Golden Globes. Now, we were talking about the Israel thing for a while. John Fetterman, I got to hand it to this guy. Did you ever think I would be saying on the old Nonzo and D show,
No.
I have to hand it to John Fetterman?
No,
you didn't,
No.
did you? It was those words. It's almost unconscionable that came out of my mouth.
I
right?
like him a little more now for a completely different reason. Because I saw a video of him wearing a Steelers stocking cap.
Oh,
so.
for Pete's sake, Steelers stocking cap. Well, this is why I like him. So John Fetterman's come out, criticized South Africa, believe it or not, because they brought a genocide case against Israel in the United Nations International Court of Justice. Now, he said that the African nation should focus on quelling unrest on its own continent. And he said, quote, "Who are they really fighting?" Fetterman said of Hamas terrorists. He said it's a group of cowards, referring to them. They hide in tunnels, they hide behind civilians, they attack, kill, and mutilate children and women. And they do that. Stop talking about proportion on that. They shot their best shot on October 7th, and they would have taken more lives if they could do that. The reason he's pissed off at South Africa is if anybody has been living under a rock, Deez, do you know what the most hazardous job is in the world? Being a farmer in South Africa.
I was going to say in the diamond mines, but
No, being a farmer in South Africa.
that's not what the Alaskan crab catchers say.
Yeah, well, the Alaskan crab catchers aren't at risk of being tortured and mutilated in their own homes every night. I have talked to people that live in South Africa and have been farmers in South Africa. So South Africa pretty much told their population, after the whites colonized it, all these white people went in and bought farmland, became farmers, and then it flipped around, and now the black majority is using government intervention and telling the black citizens that this land is yours, and they're trying to take it from the white farmers who own it and just give it back to the blacks. Meanwhile, you have the blacks running around and killing the farmers trying to take their land and running them away, burning down their houses, killing the people, killing the women, killing the... It's bad. I mean, it's horrible in South Africa.
Yeah, who do they think they are? Early American settlers?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, El. That's right. Point being, they're whacking people left and right in South Africa. So for South Africa to bring this case about Israel, you know, saying that they're causing genocide against the Palestinians, this is apples and oranges. Absolutely apples and oranges. Now, what you will hear a lot about is conservatives talking about South Africa, or logical people talking about it. What's going on right now is literally a genocide. It's literally a genocide of people that had no dog in this hunt. For John Fetterman to come out, I'm surprised John Fetterman could find South Africa on a map. The fact that he's coming out and going through this and putting up with it and putting up with backlash from the squad, the AOCs and the Rashida Tlaibs and the Ilhan Omars coming out against them, to me is impressive, Deez. It actually shows me that maybe, just maybe, Fetterman's got some cojones.
Yeah.
And hey, you know what? When somebody comes out and speaks the truth and speaks logic, I don't care what their political party is. I don't care how much I didn't like them last week. You know, same thing with Bill Maher. Bill Maher comes out and he says just logical things. And all the conservatives go, well, he must be a conservative. No, he's not a conservative. He's still a liberal. That didn't change anything. He's still a liberal.
What's happening to you? First Fetterman, next thing you know, you're going to be singing old Greta's praises.
That will never happen. That little Hamas supporting, you can kiss it where the sun don't shine. Well, I wanted to say something else, but I didn't.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I pulled it off, didn't I, though? I got it in the right time. All right, let's see how much time we have here because we're getting into it, baby. We're getting into it. Now, they have at the James Madison High School in Brooklyn, you want to talk about how bad this is getting with immigration and these open borders, which is single-handedly
ridiculous.
destroying our country. James Madison High School in Brooklyn had to send the kids home for remote learning so that they could open up the gym to let migrants sleep there.
Yep.
School is closed tomorrow because illegals will be sleeping in the school's gym. This is disgraceful. New York City is prioritizing illegals over Americans, Libs of TikTok wrote. 2,000 migrants are sheltered in the school right now. Now remember, New York City was a sanctuary city. How many people in New York that are affected by this do you think give a damn about being a sanctuary city now? Just like Chicago, just like San Francisco, just like LA, just like Baltimore. All these places, sanctuary cities. Now you got Mayor Adams freaking out, but he's not doing anything about it. Joe Biden calls him up and he's back to sleeping in bed with Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you know, Mayor Eric Adams is not being put out by this. This is a headache to Mayor Eric Adams. His paycheck isn't changing. There's nobody going into his apartment on, 32nd Avenue, wherever the hell he lives. That's not putting him out. It's putting the people that voted for him out. So it kind of makes you wonder, at what point in time are these people going to become, as we say in AI, self-aware? When are these people going to go, holy sticks, I'm not putting up with this anymore? How would you feel if you had kids, which you don't, but if you did, and they had to go home and go back to remote learning like they did during the COVID pandemic, so you could house illegals?
I'd be pretty upset. I don't want them little bastards in my house.
I wouldn't either. I've been through this before. Elon Musk got on there on X and doubled down. He said they've run out of hotel rooms, are kicking kids out of school for illegal housing, and now they want your homes too. Did you know that? Yes. Massachusetts Governor Maura Haley declared a state of emergency over this crisis. She literally asked residents to consider sponsoring migrant families and hosting them in their homes. What in the absolute hell?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Not in Joe Biden's America. Well, I'm El Donzo.
I'm Deez.
And as usual, this is the last segment of today's show. We're going to hand it over to Deez. He's got some Fooly monkey shines. Oh, by the way, Deez, I hope you're going to cover the story about the couple that died in their house because their furnace was running at 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, I missed that one.
You missed this one.
Yes.
You didn't hear about this.
No.
Couple found dead in their bed as home's heater reached 1,000 degrees. I got to do this one real quick, then I'm going to hand it over to you to finish out the segment. This was in South Carolina. An elderly couple was found dead in their sweltering South Carolina home as a heater reached a staggering 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Leading
Who the hell makes a furnace that goes to 1,000 degrees?
They don't build them like they used to.
Jeez.
Leading firefighters at first glance to believe the machinery was ablaze. The bodies of Joan Littlejohn, 84, and Glenwood Fowler, 82, were discovered by a police officer and paramedics Saturday after family members had not heard from the couple for 3 days and requested a welfare check. Now, paramedics attempted to take the body temperatures, but the thermometers only went to 106 degrees Fahrenheit.
They were well, all right. Well done.
They were, yes, well done. I wanted to get to this story. Now, the couple had complained that their furnace previously and hot water heater were not working on Wednesday, so family members came to their home and, air quote, fiddled with it until the pilot light on the heater turned on. Now, somebody asked me, how could these people not know they were cooking to death? Well, if the heater somehow was that hot and it didn't shut off, my guess is it was cooking off carbon monoxide
Yeah.
and poisoned them, killed them, and they went down. I don't know. It's developing, but anyway, I saw that and I had to jump in there. D's, with that, I hand it off to you, bro.
This might be my favorite headline I've ever read on this show.
I can't wait. Let's have it.
The first two words will clue you in. Florida man.
Oh, there we go. Florida.
Florida man hides meth in his butt cheeks after hitting a paraplegic bicyclist.
He got a crack high, is what you're telling me. That after
that's
hitting a
not-
paraplegic bicyclist.
Yes. A hit and run incident involving a paraplegic bicyclist led to the arrest of a Florida man and woman who were found carrying methamphetamine for the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. The collision occurred around 6 o'clock where a Ford hatchback reportedly hit the bicyclist, identified as Stephen Watkins, former detention deputy at the sheriff's office. He'd been paralyzed from the chest down due to a staph infection, suffered minor injuries from the incident, was transported to a local hospital. Police tracked the car down and believed to be the home of its owner, 35-year-old Andrew Croswell. However, his parents claimed he wasn't there. Eventually, they found the Ford on US 1 and stopped it. The driver was a 48-year-old woman named Clara Smith. The man then admitted that, yes, he was driving at the time of the accident, but he didn't realize that he hit somebody, thought he hit a curb, and yeah. So they put him in the squad car, and he was fiddling with the old crack there, and they figured out that he had stuffed meth in his butt cheeks.
Well, it's better than going up his rectum because you know what? Rectum.
Damn near killed
There
him.
we go.
All right. Priest. You know, this seems to be a theme this year with what's going to happen here. A priest in the Czech Republic cut off his own schwim during a crazed mental break following a tick bite.
He bobbited himself?
Yes. We don't know exactly what happened. Well, what happened was he chopped off the old yin-yang there.
The old twig and berries, the wedding
It was
tackle?
probably a health problem. Do you think?
Probably a mental health problem.
Yeah, according to the Czech outlet, locals first realized something was awry when the clergyman failed to show up for a prearranged meeting. They busted his door down, which they found him lying unconscious in a pool of blood with his schwam severed.
Why is this so weird to you? Because we encourage our youth to do this in our own country.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know why this is so odd.
I mean, can we send a bunch of ticks to the Catholic Church?
He's not going to get any pushback on me.
Just saying. All right, and let's see what else we got. We're there. Here's another fun headline. Florida man.
Another Florida man.
Yes,
Are you serious?
yeah, I have found a new subreddit that is just awesome. Anyway, Florida man in a unicorn floaty hooked a 10-foot shark. So A, he's in a unicorn floaty. B, he's using this floaty to fish in the ocean.
Old news. It was a sandbar shark.
No.
Oh, what was it?
No, this just recently happened. He hooked a 10-foot shark, and then the shark towed him 4 miles offshore.
Old story. This
It is?
happened. Yeah, this is old story. Yeah, because guys on a yacht got him that were fishing too, and they towed him in, and he was shirtless, and he was freaking out, but he didn't want to let the shark go. 'cause
Yeah, he
had a
caught
really
the shark.
Yeah, this is old news.
Oh, well, okay.
I shared it on Facebook.
Well, the timestamp on it is January 4th, 2024.
Yeah, well, it's wrong.
Well,
Swing and a miss.
Thanks for ruining my day.
I'm
all right?
sorry.
Gee whiz. All right. What do we got left? Not much. Well, if you're looking for a new career out there, meet your new dream job, and that's MEAT. Oscar Mayer will pay you to drive the Wienermobile across the U.S. So, yeah, if you got nothing better to do and you have a clean driving record, you can make $35,600 annually. So, roughly minimum wage.
You can make $35,600 annually driving the Wiener.
With a weekly, yes. All you have to do is ride the Wiener all around the country. You also get a $150 stipend. Successful candidates, formerly known as hot doggers, will be evaluated following a 1-year assessment. So if you're looking for a job, go ride the Wiener. And
Do they
Finally, I just want to tip my cap to whoever it is out there in the Twin Cities that is running the City of Bloomington, Illinois Facebook page. Now, if you just happen across it, it actually looks like it is an official Facebook page of the city. I dove into it and found out that it's not that, but they put out a post that has been shared over 10,000 times now, and the post was right after the snowstorm. Before everyone calls City Hall, please remember side streets get plowed last. However, your mom will continue to get plowed first. That's a wrap.
How about